Have you ever looked at your life and quietly wondered, how did I end up here? You're in your 40s or 50s, you're still renting, still single, still trying to find your place in the world. And it feels as though everyone else has got the life you were supposed to have. If that thought has ever crossed your mind, this video might be for you. There's a generation that nobody seems to notice. They go to work, they pay their bills, they come back to an empty house. They scroll past everyone else's happy life. And every now and again they wonder if they somehow missed their chances. You know what is strange? Nobody talks about people like us. We have stories about millionaires have made it in their 30s, a couple who are celebrating their silver wedding anniversary, the family moving into their dream home. But what about the man who goes to work and comes back home, make himself a dinner, watches a bit of television, scrolls through YouTube videos, then lies awake, wonders quietly, where did my life go? Nobody makes videos for him because his story doesn't make headlines. It doesn't go viral. It's ordinary, but ordinary doesn't mean rare. In fact, I think there are millions of people living exactly this life. They are just too embarrassed to admit it. And here is the interesting part. I don't think the problem is your life. I think the problem is the tape measure. You measure it against it. Think about how we measure success. We compare ourselves to the friend who became a consultant, the neighbor who bought a bigger house, the cousin who's been married for 20 years, has kids, and probably grandchildren, the colleague who keeps getting promoted. We don't compare ourselves to who we were last year. We compare ourselves to everyone else. But what if the feeling of failure doesn't come from your life, but from the ruler you've been measuring it with? Let me ask you a question, a bit of a strange question. Imagine you were born 20,000 years ago. There are no mortgages, no LinkedIn, no promotions, no university degrees, no Instagram, no house price, no career ladder. What would success look like? It wouldn't be having a bigger cave than your neighbor. It wouldn't be driving a better car. It wouldn't even be getting married by 30. Success will simply be this. Did you survive today? Did you find enough food? Did you avoid becoming someone else's dinner? Did you keep the people you love alive? If the answer was yes, today was success. Somewhere over 20,000 years, we changed the definition. We stopped measuring survival and started measuring comparison. Who decided buying a house at 35 means you've succeeded? It's a bit strange when you think about it, isn't it? Because nobody owns this earth. When I buy a land, who do I buy it from? Someone that owns it? How did he own it? He bought it from someone else. And how did that someone else own it? He bought it from someone else. Bring it back to the original. Who did the first man who owned it pay money to? He didn't. He stole it. Just like a lion. Just like a lion in the forest claims ownership of his territory. But the lion doesn't sell the land. And then another lion goes to the bank to get a mortgage and live a stressful life to pay that mortgage over 25 years. That is the difference. Nobody owns the earth. We just made that system. A Have you created that system? No, we were born into that system, all of us. Who decided marriage was the finished line? Who decided your salary was a measure of your worth? Did you? Or did someone else handed you that ruler? It's the ruler, my friend. I know this because I lived it. At 48, I started again. Not because I had everything worked out, but because I stopped asking, am I behind everyone else? And I started asking, what's the next right step to take for me? People often look at someone else's life at the moment and assume that this is where they have always been. That couldn't be further from the truth. I didn't start my working life at the NHS. I started as a chef, then a taxi driver. Eventually, I built my own taxi company. Along the way, just as many people trying to make a living, I tried different ideas. Some worked, some didn't quite work. I wasn't following a grand plan. I was just simply trying to make a living and build a life that is comfortable. Then something happened. At the age of 48, I made a decision many people thought was unusual. I went to college, studied a course over a year, and then went to the university. Not for a short course. I committed myself to 5 years of full time study. In my early 50s, while many people were thinking about slowing down or retiring early, I was writing assignments, sitting exams, and wondering if I'd made the biggest mistake in my life. Eventually, I graduated with a master's degree and started a completely new career in the NHS. Now, from the outside, that might seem like a success story. But here is the part that people don't see. When you start a career at your early 50s, you don't start at the top, you start at the very bottom. You become a beginner again. People younger than me had years of experience. Some of my managers are a lot younger than me. I changed the comfort of what I know by the uncertainty of starting all over again. And strangely, I don't regret it for a second because I stopped asking, am I ahead of everyone else? Or am I becoming the person that I really want to be? I'm not making this video because I figured life out. Far from it. I'm making it because I'm still living it. We are living longer than any generation before us has ever lived. If we are going to live until our 80s, why do we think life is over at 50? People are changing careers more than ever. So why do we treat changing careers at 50 as if it's strange? I guess what I want to say is that success doesn't really equal money. Money helps for sure, but there are a lot of people that have money that don't think they are successful. They might look successful to us, but inside them they still miss something. And that's why they keep going. Success isn't marriage, because marriage could end at any point and leaves someone that was very happy yesterday broke, completely broke today. Mentally, emotionally, and financially. Success, in my humble opinion at least, is continuing to move forward despite the uncertainty. And one last thing I want to ask. If this video described you, don't tell me how old you are. Don't tell me what job you are doing. Just write one thing in the comment section. Still here. Because maybe that is more important than we realize. Maybe this space is for people like us. As long as we are still here, The story is still being written. Thanks for watching. See you next time.